Today we are having our first food related episode, as I would like to call it. And this is not just some food relation, this is how to survive with just a bit of money in your pocket. This is basically my start of the month setup, as I would like to call it. This should cost almost every one of you 25 euros, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, depending on where you buy it. We're working ourselves through it, and all of this should help you to get around for at least 2.5 weeks, maybe even the whole month. Some of the things you don't have to buy every time, so let's start it. We're starting off with a loaf of bread. Yes, a whole loaf of bread. The other half is currently in the freezer, so I can eat it later this month. But this should get me around for the next 1.5 weeks. 1 kilo of rice, because rice will make your body happy for a long time during the day. Eggs. Egg produce. Chicken produce. Well, if you are vegan, I'm sorry, but I can't help you. But this will help as everyone else over the month. Trust me, you can mix so many things with eggs, especially if you look at the rest of the stuff we buy. Bacon cubes. Well, you can basically say, I'm not that much of a meat eater, I want something else. Well, that's not a problem. For the same amount of money, you could also get yourself some carrots and other stuff. But I like myself some meat, so bacon cubes. Also, sausage, Dr. Skeg Kolbasa with garlic. And cheese, because, who doesn't like cheese? Except vegans, but vegans, there's something. Yeah. Back to topic. 1 kilo of sugar. This will help us to use many of our other ingredients, and you usually don't have to buy it every month. Sometimes you can keep one of these bags for at least 2 to 3 months if you don't use much sugar, which would be good. Sugar is unhealthy. One whole bag of salt, because salt also very important. A bit of salt goes a long way if you cook something, but you also don't need it every month. You can keep this one for a lot longer time. Pepper, white and black, because well, a little bit of taste, always nice. Oats, two different kinds of oats. If you don't like oats, well, you can also replace it with something else, maybe 2 more bags of noodles. I like oats because sometimes in the morning or in the evening you basically just start to boil them a little bit with milk or just plain water, add a bit of sugar, and you are a happy camper. Noodles, at least a kilogram. You can split these, of course, up. You don't have to buy this every month. Sometimes there are leftovers just with the oats. This one bag is also a leftover from last month, so there's no need for me to buy much more oats for now. And potatoes. Potatoes, you know them. Cook them, grill them, put them in a stew, whatever. These will make your body very happy. Always get potatoes. A bit of oil. You could also go with butter, but I rather have oil because it doesn't start to burn that quickly. Now, the canned goods. Most of these canned goods contain beans. It's basically like chickpeas, baked beans, a lot of tomatoes in a can. Then we go to white beans, chili beans, some corn, because a little bit of sweetness and also a good additive to most foods, and some black beans because even more stuffing. All of this can be worked into different kind of meals, whatever you can think about. So be creative. All of this should also get you a very long time, even without all the other stuff. And a little bit of milk, because it just helps to have milk. In my dirty ass kitchen with all the appliances. I also store my bike here because I don't trust my neighbors. But the idea behind all of this would be you get your first paycheck or your social service money or whatever you are relying on, but you don't have much. So you basically can grab all of these things. All of this should be about 25 euros, maybe 30 euros if you buy more expensive shit, and it should at least carry you on for most of the month. So you at least have a stuffed belly and you don't feel hungry. And that's the most important part, because cheap survival starts with not feeling hungry, at least in my opinion. You can take some of these items away and switch them up. As I already said, if you don't like meat, you can basically replace both of them and put in whatever you like. How about some tomatoes? Tomatoes, you know 'em, you can grill them, put in a salad. Nah, just kidding. But maybe you can take away some of these things if you are on falling on hard times. You don't know where to get the money from, but you still need some food. Well, if you buy this at the start of month for 20 to 30 euros, let's say about that, removing a few items or adding even some items if you have a bit more cash, but this should get you over the month for at least a few weeks, 3.5, maybe three. That would be like 2.5 weeks for me, depending on what I serve during the week, if I feel hungry or not. Ah, let's have a brew, because cheap beer is the best beer. But as I said, this is just a recommendation. You don't have to follow it, but it helps to get over the month, because I'm relying on social service currently, sadly. So I have to make do with just a little bit of money, and that's what I buy every month. So I know I'm fat. And you don't even have to worry about it, because if you work with this kind of diet plan, you keep a lot of stuff in the background because they are leftovers. As I said, the oats are usually never eaten up, sometimes the noodles, so they end up in my storage room. There will be a video about my storage room later, because it's basically food storage for multiple months, but that's for another video. Enjoy yourself.